10 minutes of straight pickleball strategy with a qualified pickleball coach. Let's dive into it. This is some footage that the team got from YouTube. It looks like, obviously, it's 4 male players, indoor facility. I've looked at it a little bit, but have not broken this match down yet. What I did notice when I was looking at it was a lot of spinning by these players. Everybody's trying to super spin the ball. Almost everybody. There's one player who doesn't spin it too much. Little delay there, right? Get to that ball sooner, do more with it. Now kind of lose the advantage a little bit. And then as I recall in this one, yeah, we're going to see that middle confusion that happens there. You know, some clarity helps, but also having a conversation is going to be helpful. So here we have, all right, that return to serve is too high, and I'm going to show you in a second. That allows the other player to basically start attacking. We don't want to be in those situations. So what happens is height on the return of serve is fine. There's, you know, it's not a bad thing to have height on the return of serve, but on your return of serve, you want to be around here. When you start getting up into this zone here, the problem can be, particularly if you lay it in a tiny bit short like this, right, is that the ball sits up. So that return went like this, and you see it sits up. So a player who knows how to drive the ball, as this player does, is going to attack that ball. And here's the problem for this player here, with his back to us, is that he's not yet up, right? So now he's going to have to deal with a bang, you know, in transition. You never want to do that when you're on the return side. So try and stay away from too high returns of serve that'll sit up and bring him down. You don't want to go here either, right? That's a mistake, or can be a mistake. It's generally a mental error. So you want to go around here so you get the ball to land deep and then kick, as opposed to sit up and get banged. So here, you know, you don't want to be in those situations. Another thing I'll tell you here is that oftentimes the team on this side, the serve team here, is going to be upset because they missed the next shot. That'll happen. You're already in a bad spot as the serve team. So, you know, I wouldn't worry about that too much. Here, what I'm seeing is that's a good placement by that shot there. But and I recall this from the match before. What I'm seeing in this match is a lot of low balls, right? So you end up hitting the net more often than you should. Here, look how low that is over the net, and look how low this is over the net, right? Those shots seem to be good shots, right? They appear to make sense. They don't make sense because you're risking the net and you're not getting the depth that you want with your shots. That's a good height on that shot, pushes him back. That's a good height on the return, right? A little bit out. And I think this shot was out by this player because of the serve. Because actually, let's check me on that. So what you're going to see is the serve on the next one is going to push this player back a little bit, and that messes up his mechanics. So he's standing pretty close to the line there, about halfway. But see how he gets pushed, right? So he gets pushed, and now he's trying to really jack the ball to get it in, ends up missing a return of serve. I got to tell you something, missed returns of serve, probably a bigger part of your game than you realize. So here you have a short return of serve, again, occasioned by a good serve, and probably could have given himself a little more space. It's hard to tell from this angle, but my guess is usually there's more space behind these players. So you have a short return of serve. Now you got this player charging, this player coming in. You're already in a bad spot if you're the return team in this situation, regardless of how it ends up. So he's coming in, and now, I mean, this is just an awful place to be. So this player misses the volley, but obviously, you know, you don't want to be in that situation. Let's run that one again. You don't want to be in that situation where, you know, you're this player, you're hitting a short return to serve, you're coming forward, you're getting peppered with a ball, right? So, you know, do you want to be this player? I don't want to be this player, you know, in this situation. Probably a nice guy, so maybe I do want to be him. But in this situation, right, I'm in trouble, and look where I'm standing. I'm standing here. The serve team's up at the line. I'm in deep patootie, right? Ball comes up, you know, so he gets a ball up here that he can probably more easily smash down. This player, you know, very athletic player, but moves too much, right? This is you don't need to do all this to win this rally. Just basically put the ball in here with literally all he had to do was this, probably that much with a paddle, and would have won the rally. You know, extra movement of the paddle with, you know, trying to apply extra spin, a lot of times results in errors. So anyway, but still, I still don't want to be this player and have to get out of those situations like that. All right, let's take a look here. Drop serve, perfectly fine serve. Good, nice deep serve. Again, what do we have here? Another short return of serve. And if you're playing a lot of rallies like this, you're in trouble. This player's back, short return of serve. This is where, like, you know, trying to hit the net doesn't make any sense. Look where this player is, right? He's not even up the line yet. So you can hit the ball this high over the net, you know, with not even crazy pace, and you're going to be fine. Or you can hit it right at him. You know, if you want to get this player out of the equation, hit it right at the returner, and be a better shot. So, but if you're enjoying this, make sure you subscribe to the channel. This is what we do on this channel. A lot of what we do is strategy breakdowns like this. We also do strategy clinics. That's a out serve. I'm okay with out serves. I'm not okay with out returns of serve. So this is an example of trying to, you know, do too much spin work. So I'll show you in a second when it comes up again. This player here is going to hit a cut serve. So he comes across the body like this. That's going to make the ball spin like this. This player is then going to try and counter it with topspin and ends up hitting the net. So see how that ball's spinning like this. This player comes at it and he's trying to brush up on the back of it. That ball's spinning like mad, can't go forward, goes into the net. So, you know, if you're going to use spins, you should know how to use them. This player also trying to really hyper spin it. You know, a lot of spins happening in this game, and a lot of errors. All right, nothing yet. Spin on that one. Gonna cut that one. Gonna cut that one. That's a great poke through the middle. A little bit out, but I like that poke. That's the kind of shot that this player should keep on hitting, because that shot is there and you should keep hitting it. Let's see what happens here. There's a backhand, so this one might be easier for him to return. Yep. Good deep return there. Makes their job easier, right? Not pressure too early. I mean, the cuts are pretty when they happen. I mean, they're really, really attractive, but you can see how when you start cutting, right, that ball floats on you. So let me show you two. We got two cuts in a row here, so you can see one that works and one that doesn't work. And that's the nature of that kind of shot, is that if you hit it well, you know, ESPN, let's call in the top 10, it's a beautiful shot. So that's a nice little cut from there. But then you see that floats, right? So the next cut floats, and now you have a put away by your opponent. So it's a cut serve, a lot of spin on the return. I think they call that one in. That's what we call the fake put away. I'll show you in a second again. Let me show that one to you. So this player's going to come in. Yeah. So this player's going to come in. He's going to get a floater. And then what players do is you hit down on it, right? Oftentimes. And then that's really a fake put away. So here you have this floater. Okay. So I have two players back. I have a ball that's around here, and this player is going to aim it right here. What does that do? It risks the net and is short, meaning that it's not going to hurt him at all. Instead of hitting that, hit it higher over the net and hit it deeper, right? You know, they basically, you know, crank it down, risking the net, not doing any damage at all. So that's why we call it the fake put away. That's a better shot, the one this player hit. And then we have I think it's just a missed overhead here. That's not a big deal. Didn't get the paddle around in time. All right, let's take a look at this one here. We also do strategy clinics, by the way, where we break down analysis like this, but we go deeper into you know, how it makes sense, putting it together for you. Shouldn't let that ball bounce, I don't believe. Yep, take this one out of the air. See, that's an example, same thing there, right? So I'm gonna show that to you because it's a repetitive error. And it's an error that a lot of you are making right now that you can stop making, which is not hitting the ball deep enough. So what you're going to see here is this one, I think, should take it out of the air, even poked it at him. But watch this next one here, right? So here, okay, so off the line, get a ball out of the air. But what he does is he ends up hitting it, again, really low over the net, risky, and then bouncing it in front of him instead of going deeper into his shoelaces, right? Instead of really attacking him, just puts it down there, allowing him to pick that ball up. So, and there we have the same problem as before, right? He got it, but still the same problem as before. You know, cutting will get you guys in trouble, guys. A lot of cutting, a lot of extra spinning. That ball starts floating on you. You know, be careful with spin, adding extra spin, guys, because every shot you hit spins. There's almost no shot you ever hit that doesn't spin. The errors occur because you're trying to do all this crazy spinny spin. This player here got in trouble because he didn't make it up to the line on the fourth. It's too easy, guys, especially at this level of play when they hit balls like this. You know, you can't leave openings for them to attack you in the transition zone when you're on the return side. Nice dig there. A little bit of confusion. Good recovery. All right, guys, I think that's 10 minutes according to the timer over here. It was a pleasure training you on this or breaking this down for you. come to one of the strategy clinics, check it out. I'll put a strategy guide somewhere on here for you that you can download from our betterpickleball.com coaching library of guides. You'll have to give us an email. We'll send you the guide. Otherwise, be well, and I'll see you next time.